Integers Lesson A Notes Example number 8. Example number 8 is a combination of the first two examples we did with adding and subtracting, and then with the multiplication example. So it's like a combination of examples 1 and 2 with example number 5. We're combining them together. We're going to follow the order of operations. Your order of operations, in other words, is PEMDAS. And you should remember PEMDAS is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, then subtraction. So if you look at this, a number right beside parentheses means multiplication. This right here, beside the parenthesis, means multiplication. So there is multiplication, but there is also the parentheses, which means that we do that first. So our first step will be to do what's inside the parentheses. And inside the parentheses is either addition or subtraction. Once we do the addition and subtraction, then the second step will be to multiply. So right now, go ahead and get this written down on your paper. Okay, so we're going to start with what's inside the parentheses. So right now, go through and I want you to underline what's inside the parentheses. So we're going to be combining our rules. We're going to be combining our addition and subtraction rules with our multiplication and division rules. So we're going to start with the parentheses, which is addition or subtraction. So if I look at example A, I don't worry about the 2 out front. So I'm going to just write down the -2 and then a parenthesis. I'll make it a little larger. So inside the parentheses, I have a +3 and a -9. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6, and keep the sign of the larger number, which is negative. Now that I've done the addition or subtraction inside the parentheses, now I multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. The signs are the same. There's an even amount of negatives, so my answer will be positive. So again, do what's inside the parentheses, then multiply. For B, inside the parentheses, I have a -6 and -12. That means my signs are the same. I'm going to add them together. That would give me 18. So when you have the same signs, you add and keep the sign. So that would be -18. Now that I've done what's inside the parentheses, I'm ready to multiply. 3 times 18 is 54. Now determine, should your answer be positive or should it be negative? Well, there is one negative sign, so my answer will be negative. For C, do what's inside the parentheses first. So I have a +14 and -5. I'm going to subtract. 14 minus 5 is 9. 14 is the larger number and it's positive, so it'll be +9. Now I multiply. 2 times 9 is 18. There's only one negative sign. That's an odd amount of negatives, so my answer will be negative. All right, go ahead, pause your video, and answer questions D, E, and F on your own, just like I did A, B, and C. After you're done, unpause the video to check your answers. All right, let's go to D. Inside the parentheses, I've got -7 and -2. The signs are the same, so I'm going to add and keep the sign. Add and keep the sign. Now I multiply. 4 times 9 is 36. I've got one negative. That's an odd amount of negatives, so it'll be -36. For E, inside the parentheses, I've got a -5 and a +2. That means the signs are different. I'm going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 is the larger number, so it would be -3. 5 times 3 is 15. We've got 2 negatives. That's an even amount of negatives, so my answer will be positive. And last, question F. I've got a positive 16 and a negative 8. That means I need to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. 16 minus 8 is 8. 16 is the larger number, so it would be positive 8. After you do the addition and subtraction inside the parentheses, then I multiply. 3 times 8 is 24. And there's only one negative. That's an odd amount of negatives, so my answer will be negative. All right. Make sure you have everything copied down for example 8. If you have any questions on example 8, please let me know.